Coming up on this episode of SEVA TV, we visit the Georgia Aquarium, travel safely, and learn to fly. Stay tuned for all of this and more on SEVA TV.
With an audience that you can't really show with words on a paper or on a poster, but it's kind of this.
And remember, there's always good news around the corner.
And try not to get frustrated. It gets easier.
Welcome to My DX News. I'm Vanessa and I'll be your host today.
Welcome back. The top.
And while that is heating up, you're going to want to lay out all your ingredients.
I have never done a documentary ever in my life, and this is my first documentary.
This is gonna be quite the video.
Hello and welcome. My name is Kaser, and you're watching SEVA TV. This is the show where we feature educational videos made by student producers all across Sacramento County. We will take a look at some of the best videos submitted to the Student Educational Video Awards, and we'll even take you behind the scenes to talk to the producers themselves. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now boarding the SEVA Express, all aboard. Whether you're still stuck at home or you can't decide where to travel to next, we've got you covered. Today we take a page out of our virtual travel guide created by our friends at Del Paso Manor Elementary School. Let's head over there now and check out all the places they've been.
Many teachers need to get creative during the COVID-19 pandemic. Mrs. Brownfield, a first grade teacher, found a way to keep her students engaged.
We are taking a trip around the world and we are studying each continent. So we learned about the geography of Antarctica. We studied some different animals that live there. Then we also learned about the scientists that work there and live there. We took a tour of a research center, and then we also designed our own research center.
Students were excited to do a variety of different projects.
My project was the wheel about Antarctica. It was about Antarctica and we made a penguin. I made a wheel about Antarctica.
The class had an opportunity to be creative.
I did it with the different colors and stuff. Miss Brownfield did it with black and white. Drawing a penguin.
I think my favorite part was just reflecting on all the work that the kids did over, it was a 3-week unit. So at the end of the unit, we just looked at everything we had learned and talked about, and it was just really fun to see everybody's different projects.
It's clear that Miss Brownfield and her students are hooked on learning from this creative project.
Ryan takes this train all the way across the country to show us his favorite destinations for exploring all kinds of marine biology. Next stop, Georgia Aquarium.
The name of my video is Georgia Aquarium. In this video, I traveled to Georgia Aquarium to introduce many interesting animals living there and the important work that the aquarium is doing to help take care of our Earth. I help people learn about fascinating animals and how the Georgia Aquarium is caring for them.
This is one of the biggest tanks in the world because it's got over 6 million gallons.
And when I went on location to Georgia Aquarium to film the animals and exhibits, I did my filming, narrating, and voiceovers with an iPhone and Zoom recorder. My favorite parts were looking at all the amazing animals and going behind the scenes to see the largest aquatic tank in the Western Hemisphere. On the production, I filmed, hosted, edited, narrated, and selected music. I did my best, and I'm really happy with how the video turned out.
This is Ryan Newman reporting live at the Georgia Aquarium. Today I'm going to be showing you around the aquarium. So let's take a look at all the amazing animals that they have here.
There are lots of interesting animals at the Georgia Aquarium, living in habitats especially created for them. Many of these animals were hurt in the wild, and Georgia Aquarium is helping them heal. You can see exhibits with tropical fish, jellyfish, dolphins, eels, sea otters, octopus, and even alligators. There's a tunnel that you can walk through with water and fish all around you. You can even scuba dive with the fish if you want to. I got a sneak peek behind the scenes at one of the largest aquatic exhibits in the world, their Ocean Voyager tank.
Today I'm at the whale shark tank of the Georgia Aquarium. This is one of the biggest tanks in the world because it's got over 6 million gallons. It's the biggest tank in the Western Hemisphere. On top, it's about the size of a football field.
This tank is home to giant whale sharks, manta rays, and thousands of other fish. There's a 3-story tall viewing window, so you feel like you're right in the ocean with them. Thanks for coming along with me to the Georgia Aquarium.
A little closer to home, Sean and Carter share a cool spot they discovered along a bike trail in West Sacramento. If you're not ready to travel too far just yet, then this might be the place for you.
The name of our video is Subtiles. Our video is about this awesome sculpture in West Sacramento, right by where the River Cats play. Since the pandemic, doing things out indoors has been risky. So the reason we made this video is because we wanted everyone at our school to know that Subtile is there and how awesome it is. It is a great way to get outside and see something new in Sacramento. It's right by a bike trail too, so don't forget to bring your bikes. Our advice to anyone making videos is to stay positive, think of what people want to do, learn about, and try not to get frustrated. It gets easier. Hi, this is Carter, and I'm going to tell you about Subtiles. Subtile is a cool structure right by Raleigh Field. It looks kind of like trees. The little tiles are made of steel, and there are over 4,000 of them. Take your bike or scooter because there is a path right there on. Oh, yeah, and a little beach you can hike down to. Thanks for watching.
During the pandemic, movie theaters everywhere were forced to shut down. This left us with no option but to stay home and watch new movies from our living rooms and not on the big screen. To find out how we managed to get by, Jillian's family shares their experience during lockdown.
In my video, my family talks about how movie theaters closing have affected them, movies that they have liked during COVID, and movies that they are excited to see when movie theaters open again. I want viewers who watch my video to appreciate how much the little things can mean to us in the long run. One big skill that I learned when making my video was how to caption. I had done captioning once before last year, but that was with lots of help from my classmates and teacher. It felt very good to be able to do it all on my own this year. When making a video, the most important thing you need to know how to do is tell an interesting and intriguing story. If the story in your video is not as interesting, the video itself won't be as interesting. Making videos is important to me because it's a way to express your feelings. Making videos can have an impact on your community because you can tell a unique story, raise awareness about an important cause, and so much more. On March 13th, 2020, everything was shut down, from schools to restaurants to even movie theaters. Because of this shocking development, movies have been pushed to streaming platforms such as Disney Plus and HBO Max. Here with me today are my family, who will be telling us what movies have been like for them during this difficult time.
When movie theaters closed, I didn't think too much of it.
I think that it's necessary to keep people safe.
Well, I was trying to think of the last movie I saw in the theater, and I must have gone to see something in February.
Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker.
What was your favorite movie or TV show that you've seen at home?
Hamilton was my favorite.
I think I'd have to pick Hamilton.
I'm gonna have to say Mandalorian. The best thing about seeing movies at home is
that when you have to go to the bathroom, you can pause the movie, go do it, and then come back.
I'm in my sweatpants and slippers.
That you can wear basically anything, and you can just kind of like have a blanket over you.
think that the movie that I'm most excited to see would be another remake of Dune.
Oh, this is an easy one. Wonder Woman.
I hope that in the near future we will all be able to go to movie theaters again.
Global pandemic or not, it's always wise to be aware of your surroundings as you travel. The last thing you want is to get sick while you're on vacation, so here are a few tips to ensure you travel safely.
Do you love to travel? Well, so do I.
Hey, did you know that you can still travel safely? I always bring hand sanitizer, a mask, and always make sure to keep 6 feet apart for somebody who's not your family. For more information, go to this website.
Hope you have safe travels on your next adventure.
Kidology is the study of kids, but it's also a place where kids can go and study while they play. Let's join Addison as she visits the newest toy store in town and talks to the owner.
My name is Addison. I go to John Bennett Middle School, and my video is Support Small Local Businesses. Support Small Local Businesses is about a store, Kidology, and the challenges Ruth is going through with running a business. And I want viewers to encourage other people around them to support small local businesses because it's really hard for them right now. Hi, I'm Addison, and I got a chance to interview Ruth Viegas, a local small business owner. She has the toy store Kidology. What inspired you to start a toy store?
So we decided to open this business here. We found a really good location. It was before the pandemic, so it was totally unplanned to open a business during a pandemic, but that's how it worked out.
How did you come up with the name Kidology?
I wanted a name to be a toy store that had a learning twist. The ology part is kind of like the science of something. So the science of kids, like knowing what kids want. So that's kind of how I came up with it. I put the two together and came up with Kidology.
March of last year, did you have to close down your store?
We did close down completely because we weren't prepared for this. A 2-month closure, we started to get on Facebook and we started some sort of like pickup, or we'd answer people's questions, or we'd take an order over the phone. We do also sell on a couple of third-party websites. So that did help because we do personalize here with embroidery, and so that's kind of an avenue that we have in place on a couple of third-party websites. So we do it on backpacks, we do it on tote bags, we do it on capes, we do it on purses, we do it on chef hats. That really sets us apart.
What are the challenges you're currently facing with COVID-19?
Our location in the center. So we chose this location because this location is right with Fliptastics. And those classes were every hour on the hour, packed jam classes, 25 kids plus per class every hour on the hour. So that's not happening right now. So we're having limited traffic right now in the center. That's probably our biggest challenge. The center as a whole has a limited following at this time.
And during this pandemic, is there a certain toy you're selling more of?
Learning toys and workbooks, anything that kind of points to learning or enhancing a child's learning.
I want to thank Ruth Viegas for allowing me to interview her. It's really important to support small businesses like Kidology. I encourage you to get out in your community and support your small businesses. Thank you.
If you've ever traveled on an airplane soaring above the clouds, it can be an exhilarating experience. One plane that soars over Sacramento is piloted by Carson, a Pleasant Grove High School student. Let's learn how Carson became a pilot.
Hello, my name is Carson and I go to Pleasant Grove High School, and my video is called Born to Fly. In the video, I tell my story of how I became a private pilot, while also interviewing leaders in the local aviation community here in Sacramento to show how anybody, even me, a 17-year-old in high school, can become a pilot.
Hi,
my name is Carson, and if you want to learn how to fly an airplane and soar among the clouds, I'm here to tell you how. The process of making the video was quite complex. There were many different shoot days and locations, along with having to deal with aircraft noise and all the other loud noises that are associated with airports when trying to interview. Overall, I was able to get through it, and I had a lot of fun making it as well. This video was a solo project, which meant I did everything from directing, producing, acting, and editing. Overall, I think I did really well, and although I had a lot of bloopers, I think it turned out really good. What have I learned from this project was how to deal with sound. As most of my filming took place at the airport, unfortunately airplane engines are really loud and can ruin an interview. So I've learned how to use my microphones and boom mics and everything in between to allow me to still get the good sound while drowning out all the loud aviation noises in the background. Clear prop. An important skill in making any video is being able to use the camera. As a storyteller, the camera is basically your eyes for the audience, and so you want to be able to use that camera effectively when making your video to show exactly what you want it to show. Born to Fly is really important to me because it feels like a self-reflection of my life. I've always wanted to be a pilot from the youngest age I can remember, so being actually able to tell my story of becoming a pilot with everyone in my friends in the community was really awesome. Master switch on. Clear prop. People ask me all the time why I love to fly. Honestly, it's just a feeling. Flying is one of those things that is just incredible. The rush of excitement as you speed down the runway with the ground slowly escaping is like no other. When you're in the air, life has a new perspective. All your problems float away as you enter this 3D world. Hi, my name is Carson, and if you want to learn how to fly an airplane and soar among the clouds, I'm here to tell you how. Becoming a pilot is easy with enough commitment and passion, and while the price tag might seem a little intimidating, there are a lot of organizations and groups out there who are there to help. However, we'll talk about that later. For now, let's discuss what it really means to be a pilot. As pilot in command of an aircraft, you have the total responsibility for the safety of you and your passengers as you navigate airspaces, understand weather, talk to air traffic control, and so much more. Now, I know that seems a little overwhelming, but it's okay. Any flight school you go to will train you to the highest standards that you will be very proficient in knowing how to fly an airplane, and then anyone can become a pilot, just like me, a high school student. The first step to getting your license is finding a school. In the Sacramento area, there are many schools. Sacramento Executive and McClellan are just to name a few. Now, these schools will help you train and go over all the groundwork and everything that's required to get your private pilot's license. I am part of the Flying Panthers Flight School here at McClellan Field up in northern Sacramento, and I actually had an interview with Cliff Young, the president, to talk to us more about what exactly it means to be a part of a flight school. Cliff?
My name is Cliff Young. I'm president of Flying Panthers Flight School in Sacramento. We're based out of McClellan Airfield. Flying Panthers is a nonprofit flight school. So we're a Part 61. Two kinds are a Part 61 and a Part 141. The difference is you have to ask yourself if you are, what your desire is ultimately. If you want to be a professional pilot and move into the commercial aspect of flying, that's a Part 141 usually. If you're interested in recreational enjoyment of flying, then you generally choose the Part 61. It'll take between $10,000 and $12,000 is basically a good ballpark for that. Some people can get it done for a little bit less, some for a little more, but that's pretty much what you're looking at. Where's the closest? There's airports, large and small, and 141s are in both, and Part 61s are in both. So proximity to where you are, a familiarity with the area, and comfort zone you have with your speed of learning. The aviation community is a rather tight-knit group, and they take care of each other, and they're very interested in bringing people into the fold, as it were, because we love to fly, it's in our blood, and we think everybody probably would enjoy it if they're given the opportunity for the experience. So I think general aviation is a thoughtful group, that really wants to see aviation be available for everybody and have everybody experience it. Anybody who's interested in flying, take a discovery flight and just go with an experienced certified flight instructor at your school of choice. Just experience it, see how it feels to you, and decide at that point, because you really can't make a determination without having the experience being in an airplane and talking to somebody.
Thank you, Cliff. Once you find your school, you want to reach out to them and see what it takes to get your training started. At these schools, they will show you everything you need to know about ground and written, along with flight training, your first solo, cross-country solo, and so much more. Their job is to prepare you for the private pilot check ride, where an examiner will observe your abilities as a pilot to safely navigate the sky. However, it's important to note that it's going to take a lot of hours of practicing and studying to get your license, but with the right determination, anyone can become a pilot. People come up to me a lot and say, Carson, I don't know much about aviation or where to begin. Well, what's really special about the aviation industry is that it is extremely inclusive and welcoming, especially for new pilots. However, there are a lot of organizations out there like the Experimental Aircraft Association, AOPA, and so many more to help new pilots get off the ground. I sat down with Gil Wright, the president of EAA Chapter 52. Gil?
Gil Wright. I'm the president of EAA Chapter 52 here in Sacramento, and I have a great passion for supporting youth about aviation. Well, EAA is a national organization that was founded over 60 years ago, and it's been a very important force within aviation. And during that time, they've helped aviation grow and support much of what is general aviation. It's always been it's a village, and people who have the dream of flight will oftentimes come to airports. And people who have learned to fly, somebody had to teach them. And so everybody's looking of ways to paying it forward to those who have the interest and the passion. Decades ago, kids who were interested about flying would go to the airport and they'd say, sweep the hangars out, clean the airplanes, and exchange, taking care of airplanes for rides and get their private pilot's certificate at that time. The one thing that I've come to realize and appreciate about aviation is that you can never learn it all. And if you're curious, your curiosity will take you to wherever you wish to take it. And there's a number of organizations that you can do things like. EAA has a program called the Young Eagles, which is where kids who from age 8 through 18 are able to get their introductory flight on a small airplane. Then you can get a certificate for your first introductory hour in an airplane. At many of the flight schools, Sacramento Executive Airport has a number of flight schools. Lincoln as well as Auburn have flight schools. And you just kind of go see what local airports there are and see what's available. Aviation's an amazing journey, and keep in mind that when you travel 1 mile on a road, you've traveled 1 mile. If you travel 1 mile from an airport, you can fly to anywhere on the planet. Huge amounts of aviation there. Interesting piece about Sac City College is that the founder of Sac City College, Hilton Lusk, he actually saw the Wright brothers flying circus in 1910 as a kid. And he was so inspired by that, he learned how to fly, and he actually helped set up and establish Sac City College's aeronautics programs in the late 1920s and early 1930s, so people could learn how to work on airplanes and fly them. That's a resource here in Sacramento that it's always, you never know where aviation's going to take you, nor, more importantly, where an inspiration may take a youth. But I strongly urge families to embrace that exploration, because it'll change your family. It'll change your child's future too.
Flying has been a dream of mine for a long time. I plan to continue my career and one day become an airline pilot. But before I leave for college, I want to share the joy and excitement of flying high above the clouds. Looking down at everything and realizing that all the hard work was worth it. anyone can be a pilot. So if you've ever had an interest, I encourage you to look into it, and maybe you'll find that same love and passion for aviation as I have. We are here to support you. See you in the sky.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode of SEVA TV. Thank you for joining us, and remember, if you'd like to see more student videos or find out how you can enter the SEVAs, check out our website at secctv.org. I'm Kaser, and thanks for watching.